This is how I want to start it off. Let me give y'all some more light in it, man. Alright. So it's important for me. So I really feel like you'll enjoy the music more once you understand what the album cover means. Alright, so the album cover, it's a painting made out of wood. It's 4 different pieces of my life. Like that. And it go like that. So the first piece right here represent kind of like my childhood. I grew up in Athens, Georgia, little small Clark County in northeast Georgia. You know what I'm saying? Like not that big of a population. You either live on the east side or you live on the west side. UGA. Well, UGA, yeah, that's like the college, but let me fucking UGA like that. But so this represent my childhood. So I met my brothers and sisters. So my mom had 4 kids, me included, and we all grew up in different. Like my other 3 siblings grew up in the foster care system. So I didn't meet them until I met my first sister when I was 14. One of my sisters, the one that's blacked out right here. So it's 1, 2, 3, and 4. I know y'all can't even see it over there, but it's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So one of my sisters that I grew up with, because my dad that I grew up with knew her foster family, so we grew up kind of together. But I got her blacked out right here in the painting because she's doing 20 years in prison, and so over like she called a little case. So she doing prison. She got 10 years left, so that's supposed to represent her. And my other brothers and sisters I met at 14 and 18. And so that's when I first met them for the first time. My dad, who I grew up with, was a truck driver. So as a kid, I felt I had an advantage because I was already seeing the world as a young kid, like riding in the truck with my dad. And so that's what this represents. So I got this little door right here because that opened up doors for me later on in life from being able to experience something outside of my community. Unfortunately for all my other friends who didn't get that opportunity, they get kind of like hood-tutionalized, you know what I'm saying? Like, well, they only kind of like, they can't see outside of like what's around them or whatever like that. And I'm not knocking them because I was a victim of that too, but my daddy kind of opened my perspective a little bit more from being able to go on the road with him. So that's what that represents. Going to this piece of the painting, my best friend and that I grew up with, his name was Irv, but we called him Swerve. But he died playing basketball, so I put him as a giant holding a basketball with his number, with his like what we called him right under his name right there. And the year he died was the same year I joined the military. I went to the Air Force for 6 years. So that's what that means right there. So me flying over the plane, and then also represents like anytime like there's a ceremony or some type of memorial event, you see the planes fly over and stuff like that. So that's kind of like what that represents as well. And then the base that I was stationed at is in North Dakota, and it's a missile base, which is like over y'all head because y'all don't talk military, but it was a military base. So that's what that missile represents. So as we go more into the painting, it gets more personal. So this piece of the painting right here represents me when I was 19. I met a Hispanic female in the military. That's what the red, white, and green represent. She wasn't in the military. She was like a civilian. But I ended up getting married, and then the following year we had twin boys. So that's what this represents right here. And then so fast forward 5 years went by. I found out my wife had been having an affair. And so long story short, a year after that, I had to get a DNA test because we was like going through a whole bunch of court shit. And I found out my kids wasn't mine maybe like 2 weeks before they turned 3. So that's what the tornado in the back right here represent, you know what I'm saying, during that period of my life. And inside of the tornado, my knee hurt. Inside the tornado, you got the house with the white picket fence because I was so-called like living the American dream. You know what I'm saying? I had okay money, I had a family, 2 dogs, a fish, you know, all that. So that's where all that kind of like this and that. Alright, now y'all quiet down now, damn. Telling my story and shit. Alright, so now, you know, so now going into the bottom piece of the painting, so everything that I was attached to, which is why you see this gold band right here, kind of like attached to this. And y'all more than welcome if y'all want to come see it. Y'all sitting over there like y'all don't even want to see this shit, you know. But if this some shit y'all want to see, but wrapped around the waist right here, you know what I'm saying? It goes down and it turns into this like paint effect right here. And so that's supposed to represent me taking my pain and everything that I experienced so far from here to here, and I channeled it and had this like Midas touch type of feeling through my art, through my creativity. And so that's what that symbolizes. And then also in more detail, I got my eyes closed on the painting because of the pain, the hurt, everything that I feel. I'm very emotional. A nigga cry all the time. You know what I'm saying? So that's what that represents. But you see that I'm laughing because I always had to keep a sense of humor even through my pain. You know what I'm saying? Because to be honest, niggas ain't trying to hear what you're going through. You know what I'm saying? So unless you turn into a joke or some music or a movie, you know what I'm saying, or a dance or some clothes or some hair or some nails, some lashes, you know what I'm saying, or some massages, you know what I'm saying? So that's what that represents, you know. And then I got the people right here because this is just supposed to represent people in general. That's why they're great. You know what I'm saying? The world, the atmosphere, nature, you know what I'm saying? And then at the root of the painting is like the lotus flower, and this bar that comes out of painting represents like the roller coaster that I've been on, but it also is growing, so it's like new life. But the reason why I said y'all should see the painting because y'all gonna miss this next part. So when you put all the four pieces of the painting together, it make my face in the middle. And I know you didn't see it until I said it. Let me know if you don't see this. If you don't see the face in the middle of the painting, raise your hand.
His eyes are right there.
Hold on, we got some other niggas walking through here real quick. I'm just playing. Hey ladies, what's going on? Oh, this my nigga Nat right here, y'all.